After the age of 60, the body's nutritional needs begin to shift in ways that make food choices more important than ever. Muscle mass naturally declines, bone density decreases, and metabolism slows, making it essential to choose foods that protect health and maintain strength. Meat can be one of the most beneficial or most harmful parts of a diet depending on the type, how it is prepared, and how often it is eaten. Some meats provide clean, lean protein that fuels the body, while others contribute to inflammation, heart disease, and faster aging. One of the most harmful categories is processed meats such as bacon, sausage, and deli slices. These products are often loaded with sodium, nitrates, and preservatives that can increase blood pressure, damage blood vessels, and raise the risk of cancer. Over time, this added strain can contribute to heart attacks, strokes, and other chronic illnesses. Reducing or avoiding these foods can make a noticeable difference in overall energy and long-term health. Deep-fried meats are another danger, especially for older adults. Fried chicken, braided pork chops, and similar dishes may taste comforting, but they are packed with unhealthy fats and compounds that promote inflammation. This can worsen joint pain, increase stiffness, and make it harder to maintain mobility. Air frying or baking meat instead can keep meals flavorful without sacrificing health. Fatty cuts of red meat such as ribeye, T-bone, and heavily marbled burgers also pose risks. These meats contain high amounts of saturated fat which can clog arteries and stress the heart. As the cardiovascular system becomes more vulnerable with age, reducing these choices in favor of leaner cuts can help keep cholesterol levels in check and blood vessels healthy. Cured or smoked meats, including ham and smoked sausage, bring their own hazards. The smoking process produces harmful chemicals that have been linked to digestive cancers, and the curing process often involves excessive salt. For older adults, this can mean more strain on the kidneys and a greater likelihood of swelling or high blood pressure. Fresh unprocessed meats are always a safer choice. On the positive side, skinless poultry such as chicken and turkey offers lean, high-quality protein without excess fat. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are excellent for heart and brain health due to their rich omega-3 content, which helps reduce inflammation and protect memory. Lean cuts of pork, such as tenderloin or loin chops, provide valuable B vitamins for energy and nerve function without much fat when trimmed properly. Plant-based proteins like tofu, tempeh, and lentil burgers can also be valuable, bringing heart-friendly benefits and adding variety to the diet. After 60, every bite truly matters. Choosing meats that support the body rather than strain it can make the difference between maintaining energy and mobility or facing preventable health challenges. By avoiding processed, fried, fatty, and smoked meats and focusing instead on lean poultry, fish, well-trimmed pork, and plant-based options, it is possible to protect the heart, preserve muscle, and enjoy more active, fulfilling years ahead. Once a person reaches the age of 60, the way the body responds to food changes in important ways. Muscle naturally starts to shrink, bones lose some of their strength, and metabolism slows down. This means every bite matters more than ever, especially when it comes to protein sources like meat. The right choices can help maintain energy, protect the heart, and keep the immune system strong, while the wrong choices can add unnecessary strain and speed up the aging process. It is no longer just about enjoying the taste, it is about choosing foods that work for the body instead of against it. Processed meats such as bacon, sausage, and deli cuts are some of the most harmful options for older adults. These products are often packed with sodium nitrates and preservatives that can increase blood pressure, harm blood vessels, and raise the risk of cancer over time. Eating them regularly can contribute to heart disease, strokes, and other chronic conditions. While they may be convenient and flavorful, the long-term impact on health is not worth the short-term satisfaction. Choosing fresh, unprocessed meat instead can make a significant difference. Another category to approach with caution is deep, fried meats. Fried chicken, breaded pork chops, and other battered meats may be crispy and satisfying, but they carry a heavy load of unhealthy fats. These fats encourage inflammation in the body, which can make joint pain and stiffness worse. For someone already dealing with arthritis or reduced mobility, this added inflammation can make daily activities harder. Healthier cooking methods like baking, grilling, or air frying can deliver flavor without the same harmful effects. Large portions of fatty red meats also deserve a place on the void list. Cuts like ribeye, T-bone steak, and heavily marbled burgers contain high levels of saturated fat. These fats can clog arteries, raise cholesterol levels, and put unnecessary stress on the heart. As the years go by, the cardiovascular system becomes more vulnerable, and keeping it in good shape is crucial. Choosing leaner cuts of beef or switching to alternative proteins can help maintain heart health without sacrificing the enjoyment of a good meal. Cured or smoked meats such as ham, smoked sausage, and certain deli hams present another problem. The smoking process produces chemicals that have been linked to cancers of the digestive system, while the curing process often involves large amounts of salt. This can place extra pressure on the kidneys, contribute to fluid retention, and raise blood pressure. For older adults, These effects can lead to more serious complications, making fresh and lightly seasoned meats the better option. Fortunately, there are meats that can be enjoyed daily with confidence. Skinless chicken and turkey provide lean, high-quality protein that supports muscle strength without adding much fat. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich in omega-3 fatty acids which help protect the heart, keep the brain sharp, and reduce inflammation. Lean cuts of pork such as tenderloin and loin chops supply B vitamins for energy and nerve health, especially when the fat is trimmed away. Even plant-based proteins like tofu tempeh and lentil patties can be excellent alternatives, giving the body the nutrition it needs while supporting heart health. By the time a person is in their 60s or beyond, every food choice plays a role in how well they feel and function each day. Avoiding processed, fried, fatty, and smoked meats while focusing on lean poultry, fatty fish, lean pork, and plant-based proteins can make a dramatic difference in quality of life. These choices help maintain strong muscles, a healthy heart, and a sharp mind, allowing for more active and enjoyable years ahead. Once a person passes the age of 60, the way the body processes food changes significantly. Muscles naturally begin to shrink, bones may lose density, and the metabolism slows, meaning the body needs fewer calories but more nutrient-dense foods. Choosing the right sources of protein becomes more important than ever. Meat can be a great source of protein and essential nutrients, but not all meats are equally beneficial. Some can protect and strengthen the body, while others can quietly contribute to inflammation, heart problems, and faster aging. At this stage in life, every meal is an opportunity to support health rather than harm it. Processed meats such as bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli slices are among the most damaging options for people in their later years. These products often contain high amounts of sodium, preservatives, and nitrates, all of which have been linked to higher blood pressure, blood vessel damage, and an increased risk of certain cancers. Over time, these effects can build up, placing unnecessary strain on the heart and increasing the risk of chronic disease. While these foods may seem convenient and flavorful, the harm they cause far outweighs the benefits, making fresh, unprocessed meats a much better choice. Deep-fried meats are another danger to be aware of. Fried chicken, breaded cutlets, and similar dishes absorb large amounts of unhealthy oils during cooking, which makes them high in saturated and trans fats. These fats can raise cholesterol levels and promote inflammation throughout the body. For older adults, inflammation can worsen joint pain, make arthritis symptoms more severe, and reduce mobility. Regularly eating fried meats can also increase the risk of heart disease and weight gain, which may further complicate other age-related health concerns. Choosing to bake, grill, steam, or air-fry meats can keep the flavor while avoiding these harmful effects. Fatty cuts of red meat such as ribeye steaks, T-bone steaks, and heavily marbled burgers also carry risks for people over 60. These cuts tend to be high in saturated fat, which can lead to the buildup of plaque in the arteries and raise the risk of heart attack or stroke. Since the cardiovascular system naturally becomes more vulnerable with age, it is wise to limit these types of meats or choose leaner cuts instead. By trimming away excess fat and keeping portions moderate, it is possible to enjoy beef without putting unnecessary strain on the heart. Cured and smoked meats like ham, smoked sausages, and certain deli hams present another set of health hazards. The smoking process produces compounds that have been linked to digestive cancers, and the curing process often relies on large amounts of salt. For older adults, high salt intake can raise blood pressure, cause fluid retention, and place additional strain on the kidneys. Reducing or eliminating these types of meats can help protect both heart and kidney health, while also lowering the risk of certain cancers. The good news is that there are many healthier meat choices that can be enjoyed daily. Skinless poultry such as chicken and turkey provides lean protein to help preserve muscle mass without adding excess fat. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which protect the heart, support brain health, and fight inflammation. Lean cuts of pork, such as tenderloin or loin chops, can also be excellent choices when trimmed of visible fat, as they supply B vitamins that help maintain energy and support nerve function. Plant-based proteins, such as tofu, tempeh, and lentil burgers, offer additional variety and heart-friendly benefits while reducing overall meat intake. Making thoughtful choices about which meats to eat and which to avoid can have a big impact on health and longevity after 60. By limiting processed, fried, fatty, and smoked meats and embracing lean poultry, fatty fish, well-trimmed pork, and plant-based proteins, it is possible to maintain strength, protect the heart, and stay active well into later years. Each meal is an opportunity to fuel the body with the nutrients it needs, reduce the risk of disease, and support a vibrant, energetic lifestyle for years to come. Once a person moves beyond the age of 60, the body undergoes changes that make the choice of foods far more important than in earlier years. Muscle mass tends to decline, bones can lose density, and the metabolism slows down, meaning the body no longer burns calories as quickly. This makes it essential to choose foods that are nutrient-rich and supportive of overall health. Meat is often a key part of many diets, providing valuable protein and other nutrients, but it is important to remember that not all meats have the same effect on the body. Some can help preserve energy, strength, and heart health, while others can accelerate health problems and contribute to a decline in quality of life. Among the meats that should be limited or avoided, processed meats such as bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and cold cuts stand out as especially harmful. These products often contain large amounts of sodium, nitrates, and chemical preservatives, all of which can damage blood vessels, increase blood pressure, and raise the risk of certain cancers. For someone in their 60s or beyond, the accumulated impact of these substances can be serious, contributing to heart disease and other chronic conditions. While they may be convenient and flavorful, the long-term risks outweigh the temporary enjoyment, making fresh and minimally processed meats the safer choice. Another group of meats that should be approached with caution is deep-fried meats. Fried chicken, breaded pork cutlets, and other heavily battered options soak up oils during cooking, leaving them high in unhealthy fats. These fats can promote inflammation, which may worsen arthritis symptoms and joint stiffness. They also increase cholesterol levels, which can lead to heart disease. For people who are already more prone to mobility issues, this added inflammation can make daily activities more difficult. Healthier cooking methods such as baking, grilling, or air frying can offer the same satisfaction without the same damaging effects. Fatty cuts of red meat such as ribeye steaks, T-bone steaks, and heavily marbled burgers present another challenge for people over 60. These cuts are often high in saturated fat, which can contribute to plaque buildup in the arteries, raising the risk of heart attacks and strokes. As the cardiovascular system becomes more vulnerable with age, it is especially important to limit these types of meats. Choosing leaner cuts like sirloin or round steak and keeping portion sizes moderate can help reduce the burden on the heart while still allowing for occasional enjoyment of beef. Cured and smoked meats like ham, smoked sausages, and certain deli hams add another layer of risk. The process of smoking meat produces chemicals linked to digestive cancers, and curing often involves large quantities of salt. Excess salt can raise blood pressure, cause the body to retain fluid, and put stress on the kidneys. For older adults, these effects can worsen existing health problems or contribute to new ones. Choosing fresh, unprocessed meats seasoned with herbs and spices instead of salt can help avoid these risks while still delivering flavor. The positive side is that there are plenty of meat options that support good health. Skinless chicken and turkey provide lean protein to help maintain muscle mass without overloading the body with fat. Fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help protect the heart, improve brain function, and reduce inflammation throughout the body. Lean cuts of pork, like tenderloin or loin chops, are also valuable sources of B vitamins, which help maintain energy and support nerve health when prepared without excessive fat. Plant-based proteins like tofu, tempeh, and lentil burgers can also add variety and offer heart protective benefits. Making wise meat choices can have a lasting impact on health, energy, and independence after the age of 60. By limiting processed fried, fatty, and smoked meats and focusing on lean poultry, fatty fish, lean pork, and plant-based proteins, it is possible to maintain strong muscles, protect the heart, and stay active well into the later years of life. Every meal becomes a chance to either support long-term health or put it at risk, and by choosing wisely, one can enjoy more vibrant, fulfilling years ahead. Once a person reaches their 60s, the body begins to react differently to the foods it receives. Muscle tissue gradually declines, bones can lose density, and metabolism slows, meaning the body burns fewer calories and becomes more sensitive to the quality of nutrients it takes in. Meat, which has long been a central source of protein for many people, can either be a great ally for maintaining health or a hidden danger that slowly undermines it. Some meats supply the protein, vitamins, and minerals needed to preserve strength and energy, while others deliver unhealthy fats, excess salt, and harmful chemicals that place extra stress on the body. Making the right choices becomes less about habit and more about necessity. Processed meats such as bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and sliced deli meats are among the most harmful for older adults. These foods are typically loaded with sodium, nitrates, and other preservatives designed to extend shelf life and enhance flavor. While these additives may seem harmless in small amounts, over the years they can increase blood pressure, damage the lining of blood vessels, and raise the risk of heart disease and certain cancers. For someone past 60, when the body's resilience is naturally reduced, these effects can accumulate more quickly and cause more harm. Replacing processed meats with fresh, unprocessed options is a simple but powerful step toward protecting long-term health. Fried meats also carry serious drawbacks. Dishes such as fried chicken, breaded pork chops, and battered fish are often cooked in oils that add large amounts of saturated and trans fats to the meal. These fats can raise cholesterol levels and trigger inflammation, which can make joint pain and stiffness worse. For an older adult already dealing with arthritis or reduced mobility, these effects can have a direct impact on daily life, making it harder to move comfortably and stay active. Using alternative cooking methods like baking, grilling, steaming, or air frying can provide satisfying meals without the same level of risk. Fatty cuts of red meat are another concern. Steaks such as ribeye or T-bone, along with heavily marbled burgers, are high in saturated fat, which contributes to the buildup of plaque in the arteries. This buildup can lead to heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular problems. As people age, their circulatory system becomes more vulnerable, so cutting back on these high-fat meats or choosing leaner cuts like sirloin or round steak can make a significant difference. Keeping portion sizes reasonable and avoiding daily consumption of these meats further reduces the strain on the heart. Cured or smoked meats deserve special mention because they carry risks beyond those of fat and salt. Items like ham, smoked sausage, and certain deli hams undergo processing methods that introduce harmful chemicals, including those formed during the smoking process. These substances have been linked to cancers of the digestive tract. In addition, the curing process often involves large amounts of sodium, which can raise blood pressure, cause fluid retention, and place extra strain on the kidneys. For someone over 60, whose kidneys may already be less efficient, this can accelerate the decline in kidney function. Choosing fresh meats that are cooked at home and seasoned with herbs instead of salt can help avoid these dangers. The encouraging news is that there are many meats that can be eaten regularly to promote health and vitality. Skinless chicken and turkey provide lean, high-quality protein without adding excess saturated fat. Fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help keep the heart strong, support brain health, and reduce inflammation. Lean cuts of pork like tenderloin or loin chops, when trimmed to visible fat, offer valuable B vitamins that aid in energy production and nerve function. Even plant-based proteins such as tofu tempeh and lentil-based burgers can be excellent choices, providing the nutrients needed without the risks linked to processed or high-fat meats. By making mindful choices about which meats to include and which to avoid, it is possible to maintain energy, strength, and good health well into the later years of life. Steering clear of processed, fried, fatty, and smoked meats while embracing lean poultry, fatty fish, lean pork, and plant-based options can help protect the heart, support muscle maintenance, and reduce the risk of chronic disease. Each meal offers an opportunity to nourish the body, avoid unnecessary strain, and build a foundation for a more active and fulfilling future. If you'd like, I can now make this version longer and more vivid by adding sensory details, real-life examples, and gentle motivational language so it feels like a conversation rather than a health lecture. That would make it even more engaging for readers over 60. Once a person reaches the age of 60, the body's needs begin to change in ways that make food choices far more important than they might have seemed earlier in life. Muscle mass naturally declines, bones may lose density, and metabolism slows, which means the body needs fewer calories but more nutrient-dense foods to stay strong and healthy. Meat can be a valuable part of the diet, providing protein and essential vitamins and minerals, but not all meats are equally beneficial. Some can help preserve health, while others can quietly contribute to inflammation, heart problems, and faster physical decline. Making the right choices is not simply a matter of taste, but of protecting long-term well-being. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and packaged deli slices are some of the most harmful options for older adults. These meats often contain high levels of sodium, nitrates, and chemical preservatives designed to extend shelf life and enhance flavor. Over time, these additives can raise blood pressure, damage blood vessels, and increase the risk of certain cancers. For those over 60 whose cardiovascular and immune systems may already be more vulnerable, these effects can accumulate faster and lead to serious health issues. Choosing fresh, unprocessed cuts of meat instead can greatly reduce these risks and still provide satisfying meals. Fried meats are another category worth avoiding. Foods such as fried chicken, breaded pork chops, and other battered meats absorb large amounts of unhealthy fats during cooking. These fats not only raise cholesterol levels, but also promote inflammation, which can worsen joint pain and stiffness. For older adults who may already struggle with arthritis or reduced mobility, this added inflammation can make daily movement more difficult. Switching to cooking methods such as baking, grilling, steaming, or air frying can provide the same enjoyment without the harmful side effects. Fatty cuts of red meat, including ribeye steaks, T-bone steaks, and heavily marbled burgers, can also present challenges. These meats are high in saturated fat, which contributes to plaque buildup in the arteries and increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. As the cardiovascular system becomes more fragile with age, it is especially important to limit these types of meats. Opting for leaner cuts like sirloin or round steak, trimming visible fat, and keeping portions moderate can help maintain heart health while still allowing for occasional enjoyment of beef. Cured and smoked meats such as ham, smoked sausages, and certain deli hams carry their own risks. The smoking process creates compounds linked to cancers of the digestive tract, while the curing process usually involves large amounts of salt. High sodium intake can raise blood pressure, cause the body to retain fluid, and place added strain on the kidneys. For people over 60, these effects can worsen existing health concerns and speed up the progression of age-related diseases. Replacing these options with fresh, lightly seasoned meats prepared at home is a far healthier approach. There are, however, many meat choices that can actively support health and vitality in later years. Skinless chicken and turkey are excellent sources of lean protein, which is essential for maintaining muscle mass without adding excess saturated fat. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel provide omega-3 fatty acids that protect the heart, improve brain function, and reduce inflammation. Lean cuts of pork such as tenderloin or loin chops, when trimmed of visible fat, supply B vitamins that help maintain energy and support nerve function. Plant-based proteins such as tofu, tempeh, and lentil burgers can also play a role, offering variety and additional heart protective benefits. By choosing meats that provide nourishment without adding harmful fats, chemicals, or excessive salt, it is possible to stay active, strong, and healthy well beyond the age of 60. Avoiding processed, fried, fatty, and smoked meats while embracing lean poultry, fatty fish, lean pork, and plant-based alternatives can help protect the heart, preserve muscle, and reduce the risk of chronic illness. Each meal is an opportunity to either strain the body or support it, and with thoughtful choices, those later years can be full of energy, mobility, and a higher quality of life. When a person moves beyond the age of 60, the way the body handles food changes noticeably. Muscles naturally start to shrink, bones lose some of their strength, and metabolism slows down, which means fewer calories are needed. But the quality of those calories becomes more important than ever. Protein is still essential for keeping muscles and bones strong, but the type of meat eaten can make a big difference in overall health. Some meats provide valuable nutrients that help keep the heart, brain, and immune system in good condition, while others can quietly increase the risk of disease. Understanding which meats to limit and which to enjoy more often can make a real difference in how someone feels each day. Among the meats that are best avoided are processed varieties such as bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and packaged deli slices. These items are often packed with sodium, nitrates, and preservatives that can harm the cardiovascular system, raise blood pressure, and contribute to the development of cancer. Over time, the body's ability to handle these substances decreases, making them even more damaging in later years. While the flavor and convenience of processed meats can be appealing, replacing them with fresh cuts of meat prepared at home is a far better choice for long-term well-being. Deep-fried meats are another source of trouble. Fried chicken, breaded pork chops, and battered fish may taste satisfying, but the cooking process adds large amounts of unhealthy fats. These fats can raise cholesterol levels and promote inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation is a major contributor to joint pain and stiffness, conditions that often become more noticeable with age. Choosing healthier preparation methods, such as baking, grilling, or air frying, can help reduce these negative effects while still allowing for enjoyable, flavorful meals. Large servings of fatty red meats, including ribeye steaks, T-bone steaks, and heavily marbled burgers, can also be problematic. These cuts are rich in saturated fat, which can lead to a buildup of plaque in the arteries, increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. With age, the heart and blood vessels naturally become more vulnerable, so reducing the intake of these high-fat meats is an important step toward maintaining cardiovascular health. Opting for leaner cuts, trimming visible fat, and keeping portion sizes moderate can help limit the risks, while still allowing beef to be enjoyed occasionally. Cured and smoked meats, such as ham, smoked sausages, and certain deli hams, add another set of risks. The smoking process produces chemicals that have been linked to digestive cancers, and the curing process often involves high amounts of salt. This can cause water retention, strain the kidneys, and raise blood pressure. For older adults, these issues can make existing health problems worse and contribute to the development of new ones. Fresh meats seasoned with herbs and spices offer a healthier alternative without sacrificing taste. On the other hand, there are meats that can be eaten daily with positive effects on health. Skinless chicken and turkey are excellent sources of lean protein that help maintain muscle mass without adding too much fat. Fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel are especially beneficial because they are high in omega-3 fatty acids, which help protect the heart, improve brain function, and reduce inflammation in the body. Lean cuts of pork like tenderloin and loin chops can also be a good choice when prepared without excess fat, as they provide B vitamins that support energy production and nerve health. Plant-based proteins such as tofu, tempeh, and lentil burgers can add variety and offer heart-friendly benefits as well. Once a person reaches their 60s, the body undergoes changes that make diet choices far more significant than they may have been in earlier decades. Muscle tissue naturally diminishes, bones can lose density, and metabolism slows, reducing the number of calories the body needs each day. At the same time, the body still requires a steady supply of high-quality protein to support strength, mobility, and overall vitality. Meat can play an important role in providing these nutrients, but the type of meat chosen makes a big difference. Some options supply clean protein, healthy fats, and essential vitamins, while others bring unnecessary saturated fats, excessive salt, and harmful chemicals that can increase the risk of chronic illness. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and packaged deli slices are among the most damaging options for older adults. These meats often contain high levels of sodium, nitrates, and preservatives that place strain on the heart and blood vessels, while also raising the risk of certain cancers. Over years of regular consumption, these substances can accumulate in the body, making existing health problems worse or triggering new ones. For those over 60, when the body is less resilient to damage, the negative effects can be even more pronounced. Choosing fresh, unprocessed meats instead is a simple yet powerful way to support long-term health. Fried meats present another challenge. Fried chicken, breaded pork chops, and battered fish tend to absorb large amounts of unhealthy oils during cooking, which increases their saturated fat content. These fats raise cholesterol levels and can contribute to inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation, in turn, can worsen arthritis, increase joint stiffness, and limit mobility, making it harder to enjoy daily activities. Switching to cooking methods like baking, grilling, steaming, or air frying not only reduces these risks but also preserves more of the natural flavor of the meat. Fatty cuts of red meat, including ribeye steaks, T-bone steaks, and heavily marbled burgers, can be particularly problematic. These meats are rich in saturated fat, which can cause plaque to build up in the arteries over time, increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. As the cardiovascular system becomes more vulnerable with age, limiting these high-fat cuts becomes essential for heart health. Choosing leaner cuts such as sirloin or round steak, trimming off visible fat, and keeping portions modest allows for the occasional enjoyment of red meat without adding unnecessary strain to the body. Cured and smoked meats like ham, smoked sausages, and certain deli hams pose additional risks. The smoking process produces chemicals that have been linked to cancers of the digestive system, while the curing process relies heavily on salt, which can raise blood pressure and put extra pressure on the kidneys. These effects can be especially harmful for older adults, whose kidneys may already be functioning less efficiently. Preparing fresh meats at home with herbs, spices, and healthy marinades is a far better choice, offering full flavor without the health hazards. Healthier meat choices can be enjoyed daily and provide lasting benefits. Skinless chicken and turkey are excellent lean proteins that help maintain muscle mass without adding too much saturated fat. Fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel provide omega-3 fatty acids that protect heart health, support brain function, and reduce inflammation. Lean cuts of pork, like tenderloin and loin chops, are also valuable, offering a good source of B vitamins, particularly B12, which supports energy production and nerve function. When trimmed of visible fat and cooked using healthy methods, these cuts can be a regular part of a balanced diet. Plant-based proteins like tofu, tempeh, and lentil patties can add variety while also supporting heart and digestive health. By understanding which meats to avoid and which to embrace, it becomes easier to create meals that not only satisfy the appetite but also protect long-term health. Steering clear of processed, fried, fatty, and smoked meats while focusing on lean poultry, fatty fish, lean pork, and plant-based options helps maintain strength, protect the heart, and support overall well-being. Every meal is a chance to fuel the body with nutrients that make it easier to stay active, independent, and full of life well into the later years. Would you like me to now expand this into a more conversational, speech-like version so it feels like it's being delivered to a live audience instead of read from a health article? That would make it even more engaging. Best meat. 4 plant-based meat alternatives: lentil burgers, tofu, tempeh, excellent for heart health, digestive ease, and reducing inflammation, plus they diversify your diet. When someone reaches the age of 60, the body begins to handle food differently than it did in earlier years. Muscle mass tends to decline, bones can lose density, and metabolism slows, meaning the body requires fewer calories but still needs a steady supply of high-quality nutrients. Protein remains essential for keeping the muscles and bones strong, but the type of meat chosen can make a significant difference in overall health. Some meats can help maintain energy levels, support heart and brain function, and fight inflammation, while others can work against the body by contributing to chronic health problems and accelerating the aging process. Among the meats that should be limited are processed varieties like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and prepackaged deli slices. These products are typically loaded with sodium, nitrates, and preservatives that can harm blood vessels, raise blood pressure, and increase the risk of certain cancers. Over years of regular consumption, these substances can cause long-term damage, particularly in older adults whose cardiovascular and immune systems may already be more vulnerable. Replacing these with fresh, unprocessed meats prepared at home can dramatically reduce these risks while still allowing for satisfying, flavorful meals. Fried meats are another category that can be harmful, especially for those over 60. Fried chicken, breaded pork chops, and battered fish often absorb unhealthy oils during cooking, increasing their levels of saturated and trans fats. These fats can raise cholesterol, promote inflammation, and make joint pain and stiffness worse. Inflammation is particularly troubling for older adults as it can limit mobility and reduce quality of life. Choosing cooking methods like baking, grilling, steaming, or air frying can help retain the taste and texture of meat without introducing so many harmful fats. Fatty cuts of red meat, including ribeye steaks, T-bone steaks, and heavily marbled burgers, should also be eaten in moderation. These cuts contain high amounts of saturated fat, which can lead to plaque buildup in the arteries and increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes. As people age, their cardiovascular systems become more fragile, making it important to limit foods that can strain the heart. Leaner cuts such as sirloin or round steak, trimmed of visible fat, can be enjoyed occasionally, especially when paired with vegetables and other heart-friendly sides. Cured and smoked meats like ham, smoked sausages, and certain deli hams also pose risks. The smoking process creates chemicals linked to cancers of the digestive system, while the curing process relies heavily on salt, which can raise blood pressure and put stress on the kidneys. For older adults, these effects can be especially damaging, potentially worsening existing conditions or creating new health challenges. Fresh meats prepared at home with herbs, spices, and healthy marinades offer a much safer way to enjoy rich flavors without harmful additives. There are also many healthy meat choices that can be included in a daily diet to promote well-being. Skinless chicken and turkey provide lean, high-quality protein that helps preserve muscle mass. Fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines are excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acids, which help keep the heart healthy, improve cognitive function, and reduce inflammation. Lean cuts of pork, like tenderloin and loin chops, are low in fat when trimmed properly and are rich in B vitamins that help maintain energy and nerve health. Plant-based protein sources such as lentil burgers, tofu, and tempeh offer additional variety, promote digestive health, and are naturally free from cholesterol, making them especially heart-friendly. By focusing on meats and protein sources that nourish rather than harm, it becomes possible to protect strength, maintain heart health, and support overall vitality well into the later years of life. Avoiding processed, fried, fatty, and smoked meats while choosing lean poultry, fatty fish, lean pork, and plant-based alternatives can help reduce the risk of chronic disease and improve quality of life. Each meal presents an opportunity to make choices that keep the body strong, the mind clear, and the energy levels high, ensuring that the later years are not only longer but more active and enjoyable. After the age of 60, the body begins to experience natural changes that affect the way food is processed and used. Muscle mass gradually declines, bones may become less dense, and the metabolism slows down, which means the body needs fewer calories but still requires a high concentration of essential nutrients. Protein remains a critical part of the diet for maintaining muscle, bone health, and overall vitality. Meat is one of the most common sources of protein, yet not all types are equally beneficial. Some can actively support good health, while others may quietly increase the risk of illness and accelerate the aging process, making careful selection more important than ever. Processed meats such as bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and pre-packaged deli slices are among the most harmful choices, especially for older adults. These products are often high in sodium, nitrates, and other chemical preservatives designed to extend shelf life and enhance flavor. Over time, these substances can damage blood vessels, raise blood pressure, and increase the risk of certain cancers. For someone over 60, whose body may already be more vulnerable to such stress, the negative effects can accumulate more quickly. Choosing fresh, unprocessed meats and preparing them at home is a far healthier way to enjoy the benefits of protein without the long-term risks. Fried meats are another category that should be approached with caution. Popular dishes such as fried chicken, breaded pork chops, and battered fish tend to absorb unhealthy oils during cooking, which increases their saturated and trans fat content. These fats can raise cholesterol levels and promote inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation is a major contributor to joint pain and stiffness, conditions that can interfere with daily activities and reduce quality of life. Cooking meats by baking, grilling, steaming, or air frying can provide satisfying flavors and textures without the health hazards associated with deep frying. Fatty cuts of red meat such as ribeye steaks, T-bone steaks, and heavily marbled burgers also present potential risks. These cuts contain high amounts of saturated fat, which can contribute to plaque buildup in the arteries and increase the likelihood of heart attacks or strokes. As the cardiovascular system naturally becomes more fragile with age, reducing the intake of these high-fat meats can be an important step in protecting heart health. Opting for leaner cuts like sirloin or round steak, trimming visible fat, and keeping portion sizes moderate allows for occasional enjoyment without unnecessary strain on the body. Cured and smoked meats like ham, smoked sausages, and certain deli hams pose their own set of problems. The smoking process produces harmful chemicals linked to cancers of the digestive system, and the curing process often involves large amounts of salt. This combination can raise blood pressure, cause fluid retention, and put stress on the kidneys. For older adults, these effects can be particularly damaging, potentially worsening existing health issues. Replacing cured or smoked meats with fresh, lightly seasoned alternatives prepared at home can help avoid these risks while still offering enjoyable flavors. On the other hand, there are several meat options that can be eaten daily to promote good health. Skinless chicken and turkey provide lean, high-quality protein to help maintain muscle strength. Fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which support heart function, improve brain health, and reduce inflammation. Lean cuts of pork, such as tenderloin or loin chops, offer important B vitamins that help sustain energy and support the nervous system when prepared with minimal fat. Plant-based proteins like tofu, tempeh, and lentil burgers can also be valuable additions, giving variety and offering heart-friendly benefits without cholesterol. After 60, every bite has a greater impact on overall well-being. Avoiding processed, fried, fatty, and smoked meats while choosing healthier alternatives can protect the heart, preserve muscle, and keep the body strong and active. Food becomes more than just fuel, it becomes a powerful tool for maintaining independence, mobility, and mental clarity. By making thoughtful choices and prioritizing meats that heal rather than harm, it is possible to enjoy not only more years of life, but more life in those years, filled with energy, vitality, and good health.